Hello, all you wonderful peasants. This is your Lord Gamerson, and today I'm going to be bringing you the Trials of Mana the Experience. Trials of Mana originally came out on the Super Famicom in 1995. It was a great game then, just as it is now. Square Enix handed the development duties to developer Zine. This game was released for the PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC on April 24th, 2020. Trials is a remake of the third Mana game, Sekindetsu 3. This game was never released in the West, so this is the first time many gamers would ever get a chance to play this wonderful title. In Trials of Mana, the fighting is all done in real time. The combat is fast and intense. It's not so difficult though. 99% of battles could be fought on autopilot. There's just a lot going on screen, and you need to at least be awake for most of the battles. The most important thing is for the combat to be fun. The combat in Trials of Mana is just that, fun. It may be simple-ish, but it's never really boring. One thing that keeps it fun is the combo system. You can string together attacks with a big satisfying finisher for maximum satisfaction. The battles take place wherever you stand. You won't get transported to some far-off arena like in a Final Fantasy game. Oh no! When you do get into a battle, the area you are in gets closed off by a barrier. You must run into the barrier to escape the battle. Lord Gamerson only did this a couple times by mistake. Sometimes the fight goes to the barrier, and maybe 1% of those few times I accidentally pushed against the barrier and escaped. It's the game's fault, not Lord Gamerson's. Of course it was accidental for Lord Gamerson, because Lord Gamerson is mighty and doesn't need to run from battle. Enemies drop crystals. Pick these up to fill your CS gauge, which is needed for special attacks. You can nicely dodge enemy attacks with a button press. At the end of battle, you get experience, which you need to level up your character. You can get bonus experience for being awesome. In this game, you gots to have skills. It's best to have your skill ready and available, so Lord Gamerson recommends using the provided shortcut. You can set up to 4 skills using a ring menu system. You can also set a bunch of items for easy use in the second shortcut ring menu. The game does limit you to 9 items of the same type to use in a single battle. While this may seem like a disadvantage, Lord Gamerson believes it was necessary to keep the game in balance. This game is already reasonably easy. Without the 9 item limit, it would be very easy. You can get rare and unique items by finding seeds. Use seeds in planting pots, and within moments you get a new item. You can get your standard item seeds, silver item seeds, gold item seeds, rainbow item seeds, and the mysterious question mark seeds. Needless to say, the better class of seeds means the better chance for a premium item. When one of your characters levels up, you get training points. You get to use these points to upgrade your 5 stats. You will be leveling up strength, stamina, intelligence, luck, and spirit. You will be unlocking abilities and stat boosts. Some abilities are spells while others are physical. You need to equip these in the gear stat menu. The gear stat menu is where you will be equipping your weapons, armor, and items. It's also where you equip your abilities. You can unlock up to 8 slots for abilities, 2 for each class increase. There is a separate leveling system for classes. There are 4 classes total. The 4th class is only available after you conquer the game. You increase your class by visiting the mana stones and fulfilling requirements.
To the south of Frostbite Fields in the Labyrinth of Ice. However, I have heard that Altena has already activated the Waterstone's energy. Please, take care. To the south of the Burning Sands is a treacherous place known as Fiery Gorge. The Firestone and its keeper, Salamando can be found there. Southeast of here is the sprawling Dusk Moon Forest, home of the Beastmen. I have heard the Moonstone lies within its borders, but I know nothing more. Beware the Beastmen's strength. It would do you well to change your class before you attempt to cross into their land. The Woodstone is said to be in the woods of Wanderer. Dryad, the stone's elemental, should be located nearby. However, you cannot reach that forest via a land route. South of the woods of Wanderer is Lampbloom Woods. The elfin settlement of Dior and all its secrets lie within. If you ask the elves, they may have some advice for you.
The world of Trials of Mana is bright and beautiful. Everything in this game looks great. It uses a simpler style. It's almost cel-shaded, but not quite. It's a nice cartoon world brought to life. It's wacky, weird, and wild, but it never ever loses its humanity. The game is full of charm. Everything in this game is charming. The characters, maybe not including the ones with the worst of the voice acting. With exception for maybe Charlotte or Kevin, despite their horrible voice acting, they are still somewhat charming. They sound awful. Yes, but they do still have some charm. Depending on which character you choose, the game starts in a different spot. You see, basically, bad things are happening in this world of Mana. You need to set things right, but you just don't know where to begin. You get a hot tip to visit the Priest of Light in the holy city of Wendell. On the way, you meet the most important side character in the game, Fairy. Fairy is having a hard time. Her magic has been woefully diminished due to the devastation brought to the mana tree. The mana tree produces all the mana that is needed for magic, and it's sick, twisted, and dying. Fairy sees potential in you, so she joins forces and uses you as a host. For she lives inside you.
Don't delay. We must see to
So
restore
you are all on your way to Wendell to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Wendell. Because of the awesome things he does. He explains that you must save the mana tree. If the mana tree dies, the Benevodons will awaken and destroy the world. You must go to the Sanctuary of Mana, get the Mana Sword, and save the world.
However, you should know that the energy inside the 8 mana stones was sealed on purpose.
The music in the Trials remake is really also quite excellent. The music is modern interpretations of the original soundtrack. If you prefer the original soundtrack, you can play the game listening to it. Most of the music is synthesized, but some is orchestrated. Both are excellent. Lord Gamerson played through the game enjoying the new music, but I must say, I'm tempted to do a new game plus, listening to the original tracks. Trials of Mana gives you 6 different characters to play as. You can only pick 3 for your party, but each character changes the game just a bit. Some bosses and story bits will change depending on who you have in your party, and additionally who your party leader is. My party leader was Duran. The story took more focus on his father, the fallen hero knight, than it would say if Angela was the main character. And that subplot would almost be eliminated altogether if Duran wasn't in my party at all. You can play as Duran, Angela, Charlotte, Kevin, Hawkeye, and Reese. The enemies in this game are fun, imaginative, and expressive. The bosses are a lot of fun. Like the standard enemies, they're fun, imaginative, and expressive. They can also be a big challenge if you didn't level up enough, so make sure to do that. Just check these guys out. They really do seem to have a lot of personality. You will be fighting the mighty Full Metal Hugger. Okay, maybe not so mighty. He's the first boss, and it's as easy as expected. Lord Gamerson does love him some giant crab enemies. Jewel Eater is a giant jewel-eating adbot. If you're not careful, you'll find that tongue of his where the sun don't shine. Just beat him down before he gets the chance. Horror Crypt is a giant wind harpy. When you get to the mountaintop in Gustil, you'll be facing her. Zenoa is a fun boss. Lord Gamerson likes giant wall bosses. They make Lord Gamerson nostalgic for the time when Lord Gamerson made his own magic wall boss. Gova spends all his time on a cursed ghost ship. I don't think he's very happy. Put him out of his misery. Trust me, he'll be grateful after he's released from his haunted evil spectre existence. Beast Luga is a big bad beastman. This guy hangs out on a mountain by Sharmoon Tower. He sure is beastly. Grapple Vine is a very well-designed plant boss. This boss was a lot of fun. He hangs out in Lamp Bloom Woods. Figmund is the Benevodon of water. Figmund looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Well, kind of. But at the very least, inspiration was definitely drawn. Just watch out for the slippery floors. This poem is the Benevodon of wood. This guy looks like he escaped from Tim Burton's Sketchpad. Zanbi is the Benevodon of fire. This demon bird head thing is very, very angry, so tread lightly and discreetly. Haha, just kidding, bash his head in. Dolan is the Benevodon of the moon. They obviously had more Benevodons than elements, so they stretched things a little. Dolan is a big, massive dog beast, and he likes to smash, smash, smash. Just don't get under his fist. Land Umber is the Benevodon of Earth. Land Umber likes to rock. Lord Gamerson salutes Land Umber. Dan God is the Benevodon of Wind. This battle has you fighting in the sky. This two-headed beast will melt the HP right off your life bar faster than anything if you're not properly powered up. Light Gazer is the Benevodon of Light. This guy is a giant storm cloud with a big ol' eye. The better to see you with, I suppose. Zabel Far is the Benevodon of Dark. This big bad beatnik is 3 large demon heads that appear to be born of a satanic experiment during Circus Soleil. The Dark Shine Knight is Duran's father. He was the hero knight that was slain and resurrected as the force of evil. Defeat him and free Duran's father from evil's clutch. The Crimson Wizard is the big bad Dragon Lord second in command. This dark wizard gave his life energy, or half his life energy, for the power he possesses. It won't be enough though to defeat the legendary Ryu. The final boss of the main story, the Dragon Lord. This is perhaps the coolest boss in the game, and one of the coolest visual dragon bosses in video games. This big bad has no less than 15 attacks to keep you busy. This is the final boss for Duran and Angela. If one of them is your main character, you get to fight the Dragon Lord at the Sanctuary of Mana. Anise is the final boss of the post-game content. Anise is a witch that has a bad case of wanting to take over the world syndrome. Her first form is human, and once you get the pattern, it's all very easy. Her second form is more of an issue. Anise becomes a giant serpent creature with an attitude. Like any RPG, Trials of Mana has a ton of NPCs to talk to. This actually does get old fast though, as none of them have anything interesting to say. There's no real side quests in the game, so it does get pretty boring listening to all the NPCs go on about nothing. Most of them don't even add to the lore, they just talk about nothing. The game does have some collectibles scattered around and sometimes hidden throughout the world. You will be searching for treasure chests and little cactus creatures. The treasure chests is just as you would expect. The little cactus creatures unlock cool abilities when you find enough of them. For example, You will get all collectibles marked on the map, or discounts in the shops. The voice acting is all over the place. Some of it is good.
That lousy, conniving, murderous Crimson Wizard is dead meat. I won't let him get away. Not again. I won't come back until he's finished. I won't.
And some of it is very bad.
That was close.
Fine. I'm headed to Wendell to see the Priest of Light anyway. You can come with us, but don't get comfy. Come on.
Oh, you want to see Grandpa? Why didn't you say so? You didn't know it, but you helped your chances. I'm actually the granddaughter of the Priest of Light. But, you know, Wendell isn't far from here. You might need my help getting there, but I don't need your help getting home. Take care that you don't get lost. Bye-bye.
This game does get extra credit for including post-game content that isn't charged as DLC. Much love to Square Enix and Orzine for this. It's a decent piece of content as well. A new big bad is trying to take over for that world domination.
We're gonna win!
The extra content is good for about, I'd say 3 to 5 hours of extra playtime. Trials of Mana 2020 is an excellent remake of an excellent game. This Japanese RPG is full of personality, fun and wonder. The graphics technically may be simple, but the art style is top shelf. Well, maybe one shelf under top shelf. I mean, it's no Ni no Kuni, which is, in Lord Gamerson expert opinion, the gold standard for RPG art styles. When, they try to look animated, that is. There's so much to love with this game now. The story is fine. There's nothing too fantastic. Lord Gamerson really wasn't surprised by the plot twist contained herein, but the game is so good, Lord Gamerson wasn't all that concerned. Trials of Mana gets a solid 8.5 out of 10, and gets the Lord Gamerson seal of approval.